So today we are going to talk about a very important area, and that is geography optional. Geography optional. As we know that in the IAS Mains examination, it has immense weightage, and everybody is supposed to pick one optional out of the list given by the UPSC. Here we will understand that what is the role of geography as an optional in the entire preparation. You know that number of subjects are there, and every subject has certain advantages and disadvantages. As a candidate, we are supposed to pick such an optional which is going to play a very important role in the preparation of children studies, as well as in the it helps us in scoring very good marks in the optional itself. What is that area, what is that asset, or what is that significant aspect of the optional subject the geography has, and why it is taken by most of the candidates? I repeat, this optional is taken by most of the candidates in the UPSC examination. If you will take the list provided by the UPSC every year, then it is opted by the maximum number of students. A very obvious question is why? Very obvious question is why? And interestingly, majority of the candidates who opt for the geography, they don't have the geography background. They come from engineering background, medical background, humanity, chartered accountants, all the streams, you know. The candidates of coming from the Hindi literature or the English literature, psychology, they opt for the geography optional. So kuch to baat hogi isme na, kuch to baat hogi. What is that important part? So there you see, if I summarize, so three things are there mainly which make geography optional a very hit subject in UPSC. Number one is there that it has a very concise syllabus. Concise syllabus means that whatever they have mentioned in the UPSC syllabus part, you will see the terms and the terminologies and the topics they have mentioned. And if you will tally the questions asked in the UPSC Mains examination, not a single question you will find there which is not mentioned in the syllabus. All right. Say, for example, if we have to talk about the locational analysis, a topic is mentioned there. How they are going to ask the question, what is locational analysis, and discuss its importance in geography. If the concept of isostacy is mentioned in the syllabus, what is the concept of isostacy? Discuss the various thinkers and their views about it. Such a direct correlation is there between the syllabus and the option, and that is a very rare thing you will not find anywhere else. The second thing is there that is called the subjectivity. Subjectivity means a candidate is supposed to write by his own. A candidate has to summarize that what the thinker is saying, what the others are saying, and then he is supposed to write in his own words. And here there is always a risk or a chance that a candidate is not able to grasp the question properly. The candidate is not able to grasp the concept properly, and more interestingly or importantly, he is not able to write that idea on the paper appropriately. And this is the reason why this way he compromises with his marks. If we talk about the geography as an optional, so this kind of subjectivity is rare, because the most of the syllabus, most of the topics which are mentioned in the syllabus are very direct. Plate tectonics theory, it is neither yours nor mine. Isostacy, mountain building, volcanism, climate change, sustainable development, agrarian unrest, industrial location, agricultural activities, none of the thing is there that is either your or mine. The subject is given there, you have to take it, you have to understand it, and you have to write as it is. Now, many of the candidates, they make the counter argument also. And the counter argument is there, since the subject has the objectivity, and this is the reason why it attracts the maximum number of the candidates, and because of the increased level of the competition, the marks is compromised. No, not at all. Not at all. Because if we say if the scientific tempo, a scientific nature a subject has, so definitely it is going to be attractive. And definitely everybody whosoever is writing a good answer, he will be getting the good marks. And good answer, how we define the good answer? Good answer means where the things are very set. You are supposed to write, for example, physics, for example, chemistry, for example, mathematics. So there you see that the many candidates you will see in the past years who have topped the UPSC examination, they come from the engineering background, they come from the medical background, chartered accountancy background. So what kind of approach they have developed over the years? What kind of approach they have developed over the years? They have developed a very scientific approach. So whatever they are studying, whatever they are preparing, that approach is clearly visible. And that's why in the subjects of the humanity, which is whichever it is, their potential and their ability is clearly performing very well. So here we will understand that what the geography is and how it is going to help. And the third aspect is there, that there is, every subject has its own dimension, own way of learning. Most of the time we go alphabetically 1 2 3 4 5 A B C D E F G S, numerical way or the alphabetical way, and whatever the syllabus is mentioned over there, we just keep following it as it is. And on the basis of that, we see that a particular subject has a lengthy syllabus or a particular subject has a concise syllabus. But if you define, if we talk, if we think that which way syllabus should be studied, which way the option should be prepared, so that will going to give you a very important lesson that geography should be learned through an art, and the art of connectivity. And this is what I am going to show you today. Here you see geography as a subject. Geography as a subject, we can define mainly into 4 parts. Geography optional, and it has mainly 4 parts. Number 1 is there, that we call physical geography. Physical geography. Number 2 is there, that we call human geography. And in this I am considering both the paper 1 and the paper 2. And the third aspect is there, that is called economic geography. And the fourth and the foremost is there, and that is called the perspectives in human geography. Perspectives in human geography and the model part. Model part. Here you see, for the beginners, in the physical geography we talk about mountains, mountain building, plate tectonic, isostacy, Himalaya, etc. In the human geography, we talk about the settlement. In the economic geography, we talk about industrial location, agriculture, transport, minerals, and the reason planning part. All right. And the last one is there, and that is what? The perspectives. Perspectives means the nature of geography. Nature of geography, and plus related to it, the models which have been given by the various thinkers like Aristotle is there, Losch is there, Weber is there, Bonhoeffer is there, and many. Now, if you look into the syllabus, this is what your syllabus is. If you look into this, then what you derive, the first idea which comes into your mind, that it has the 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 areas. All right. And I have to prepare, a candidate has to prepare physical geography, means geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, then the Indian physical geography, human geography, paper 1, paper 2, settlement geography, now economic geography, etc., etc. But no, No, this is actually a poor idea. And if we follow this idea, or any candidates who follows this idea or this way of preparation, definitely he will not be able to score more than 250 marks. Of course, up to for 250 marks, this is a very good way. And this is called the childish way of the preparation. Take the syllabus, prepare it and write it. And this is also the reason why most of the people opt for it and they score 250 marks. But if you have to score 350 marks out of 500, the strategy should be more sound and that is more easier. How come you see? If the physical geography is there, then don't you think that from the perspective in human geography, many people have talked about the physical geography also. Say for example, the idea of determinism. Idea of determinism is there. Idea of quantitative revolution is there. Revolution is there. And that very clearly helps in gathering the information regarding this. And not only this, this quantitative revolution can help us into this, because it talks about the approach basically. It talks about the approach basically, what should be the nature of the geography. And it also helps in the fusion. Now, suppose if the industrial part geography is there, if what the syllabus asks for, what should be the location of a particular industry. Easiest way is there that you just take the khuldan or the margin to sand and you will prepare that way, that cotton industry is located here, this kind of problems are there. If iron steel industry is there, this kind of location, this kind of problem is there. But it is, once again I will say, it is a childish way. Kiddish way to prepare this. Why? Because the things are given, you are simply learning and writing. Then what about your prejudice? How you can make it a better answer? So if you have to cross the difference of the 250 to 350, so in that case, in this location of the industry, you need to apply the models. How you are applying that? In the model paper, we prepare that yes, the particular model talks about this, but at the same time, we need to be a very vigilant candidate, and we should be talking about that what is happening there in the model and how it has the connectivity and the relevancy with the rest of the topic. That's the syllabus. So if the iron steel industry has to be talked about, don't you think that the Weber's model has the relevance even today? Of course, there are the deviations in the pattern, but at the same time, it also talks about the relevancy, means number of examples we can cite. If the agricultural location models are there, if the agricultural activities have to be promoted, then in that case, 1,000 model is still relevant. Don't say that it is entirely irrelevant. They were those people who had the insight about a particular activity, and at that time, if it was relevant, so time has changed. Their relevancy might be diluted, but cannot be irrelevant. So here, this is what the approach this way we should talk. Now, I will give you the idea that how to prepare and how to talk this thing, how to write a good answer, fine, how to make the interrelation, and how we will be going through the entire session of the geography optional in those upcoming months. I will take few of the topics. So that you will understand it. If any topic we have to take, so first of all, I'm going to talk about the current affairs. All right, the current affairs will give you a better idea that how the current affairs is also relevant in the entire preparation. Current affairs is relevant in the entire preparation. Nowadays, what we see, say our chapter is agriculture. Agriculture is there in second paper as well as in the first paper. All right. Now, Number of things are given in the syllabus that has also been provided to you people. Number of things are there. Like we talk about the irrigation, we talk about seeds, so fertilizers, revolutions, and various agricultural regions, etc. But you see, in nutshell, and how to score better. In nutshell, if you see, the syllabus is actually based upon problems in Indian agriculture. All right. And then it talks about, in the second layer, possible solutions. And then it talks about performance. 90% of the syllabus of the agriculture comes from here. I'll show you how come. First of all, you see that what is the problem here in agriculture? What is the problem? The problem is there. Number one, the problem is there that it is backward. And it asks the question why. All right. Number one. Then it talks about mainly because of infrastructural and institutional factors. Now, if you talk and if you have the basic knowledge, I am considering here in this class that you people have the basic knowledge of the geography and the agriculture especially, that if we talk about the problems lie in the infrastructural and the institutional factors. Don't you think that till date, India, a larger part of the India, wherever the agricultural activities are practiced, the larger part of the farmers or the population hasn't any access to the irrigation facilities. The larger part of the agricultural India is still depending upon the rainfall. And the rainfall is becoming irregular. Thus, the irrigation facilities are important. Larger part of the agricultural India still uses the old traditional seeds. It still uses the old traditional source or the methods of power, like the bulls and the other animals. So in that case, what sort of reform there should be? We need to think. We need to think in the next stage. Institutional factors, if we take, then in the larger part of the country, the law of Jamindari abolition couldn't be implemented. And if it was implemented, then it was not judicious one. In the larger part of the country, the banking sector is not performing well, especially if we talk about that what amount of the loan was sanctioned to the farmers. And especially to the medium farmers, small farmers. The Jamindars were rich at that time, and even today they are rich. They are getting access to the larger part of the loan sanctions which are made by the banks. What about the poor farmers? The cooperative banking or the cooperative farming couldn't be a very effective one. So it seems to be that unless until we work upon the infrastructural part or we work upon the institutional part, the agriculture can't be improved. So what sort of the possible solution is there? The possible solution is there that we should make infrastructure better. Means irrigation better. We should make power sector better. We should make seeds better. We should make manure better. Fertilizers for now. Later on we will talk about that, what kind of problems are there. Fine. Institutional factors are there, like once again you can say the supply of power, land reforms, we can say banking sector, transportation. All right. Now, when we reach to this kind of thing, and now it is a better performing thing, we think that yes, now the improvement has come. Then we come for the performances. And the performance comes in the form of revolutions. And the revolution talks about green revolution, blue revolution, now rainbow revolution, many other revolutions. And you will see that the larger part of the syllabus is done. This is one way of preparation. But the second way and the more relevant way is there, that now you see that what sort of problems have arisen later on. Then don't you think that whatever the solution we had made, the possible solution we had made, later on they also emerge as the major problems. Say for example, now the green revolution has the problem, blue revolution has the problem, white revolution has the problem. The number of problems are there, and now these are the causes of agrarian unrest, a topic mentioned in the contemporary part of the paper 2. Contemporary part of the paper 2. And that also demands for the similar kind of information and the better application. Then what we see here, that when we talk about the performances, it also comes out as a problem. And the best one is there, I am just correcting it with the current affairs to fetch better marks. Green revolution was very successful in Punjab and Haryana. And in Punjab and Haryana, the per capita income, especially I am talking about the farmers, that increased, and that was the maximum in the entire country, per capita income, especially in the agricultural sector. The growth rate was also high. Farmers were benefited. But what happened later on? Punjab and the Haryana became the states where the soil is losing its fertility. Diminishing results have started coming. And now in the current news, you can say the last 2 or 3 days, yesterday only, the Rajya Sabha has also passed a bill, and that they want to end the mandi system. And you see, if the abolition of the mandi system is there, if the abolition of the mandi system is there, and the farmers and the other players are allowed to make a procurement or the purchase of the grains from any part of the country, then why it is affecting to the farmers of Punjab and Haryana mainly? The protest is there on the road, but the similar kind of protest we don't see in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal. Except the few opposition political parties, the farmers are not coming on their streets. Why? Why? Is it not a logical question? And does it create a question against the entire, the aura we have created regarding the Green Revolution? A very simple limitation of the Green Revolution comes, and that is mentioned everywhere in the book, that the Green Revolution remain confined in the certain pockets of India. And especially in the western part of India, Punjab and Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, and the parts of, the Andhra Pradesh eastern part. So India remains the country of number of states, not of the few states. We appreciate what happened in Punjab and Haryana. We appreciate what happened in Andhra Pradesh in terms of the agricultural development. But the India is the group of many other states also. So the mandi system is simply a kind of, the indication that what was our actual achievement through this. The current affairs talks about the unrest. The farmers' unrest, what happened yesterday in the parliament about that. But as a candidate, we are not supposed to confine ourselves to this kind of news only. We have to interrogate, we have to introspect that what was our achievement. So here the question comes, and that says that these states are facing major problem. Because these were those middlemen, bicholias, who were basically benefited. The farmers remained underprivileged even in these states. Of course, better than the other states. Better than the other states, but he was underprivileged here also. Now you see that UPSC is not going to talk about the problem only. And here from the geography as a subject comes into the scene. The UPSC is not going to talk about the problem only. What was the reason behind the agrarian unrest in Punjab and Haryana? No, they will not ask. They will ask you the larger issue. The larger issue is that India, a developing country, and the country where the 60% population is engaged in the agricultural sector, but still it is full of agrarian unrest. Why? Why? Current affairs says because of end of the Mandi system. Current affairs says because of the possible end of the MSP, minimum support price, though it is not the government has clarified, just accept and agree to what the government is saying. There it comes. And from here, the level of difficulty increases because the 60 to 70% candidate will be rushing towards it. The reason behind this. They will be talking about the shortness of the irrigation water. They will be talking about the shortness of the quality of seeds. They will be talking about the various other things. But how to approach the question? How to reach up to the maximum accuracy? And if we have to score that more than 350 marks in the UPSC Mains examination in optional, then how you will do? How you will make the way? Then for that, we need to understand that. For that, we need to understand that when there is agrarian unrest topic. So this topic, first of all, must be viewed through a perspective of regional approach, and which was supported by the technique of areal differentiation, which was given by Hartshorne in 1940s. Now here you see, area differentiation is the topic which is mentioned in the perspectives of human geography. A very important thing, because area differentiation is there. Now this agrarian unrest becomes the part of this. What does it say? We cannot go into the detail in this lecture, but just for you, area means area. Area means area. What the Hartshorne had said, and the differentiation means that all the areas have their own dimensions or limitations or advantages. We cannot make any sort of generalization that this is the problem of Indian farmer. No, it is not. The problem of farmer of the Rajasthan has a different sort of problem than the farmer of the Andhra Pradesh. Farmer of Arunachal Pradesh is facing different sort of difficulty the farmer of Bihar is facing. Then how we can say that this is the problem of the Indian farmer? Because India is not a small territory. A huge geographical area it has, the huge climatic conditions they have. Just for the generalization, we say that India has a monsoon type of climate. But don't you think that the aridity level of the western part of Rajasthan is far high than the aridity of the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh? If the eastern part of India, North Indian plain especially, is full of perennial rivers, the western part of India is not. The area which is falling north to Ganga river is always facing the problem of flood, and the area which is falling south to Ganga river is always facing the problem of drought. The purchasing capacity of the farmer is also different in the different parts of the country. The governments, state governments have different sort of policies. The policies what the government of Punjab made and Haryana made, Western Uttar Pradesh made for the, Punjab and Haryana made for the farmers, those sort of efficiencies were somewhere missing in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, in West Bengal. So we cannot make a sort of generalization. We cannot make a sort of generalization. And this was also a major reason why the centralized developmental pattern could not work. And here another topic also you can add, and that is called the multi-level planning. Multi-level planning. That is mentioned in the paper 2. This is mentioned in the paper 1. You can see one topic, how the dimensions are opening up. Now, if you will talk about the sort of the agrarian unrest, then you will be talking about the reason of agrarian unrest in the northeast. In the northeast, in Bihar. Just keep taking the number of states. Every state, even within the state, the problems are. Say, for example, Jharkhand. The other part of the Jharkhand is a very peaceful area. Another part of Chhattisgarh is a peaceful area. All right. Another part of the Madhya Pradesh is also more or less a peaceful area. But if you talk about the southern part of Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh and the Madhya Pradesh, and another part of Andhra Pradesh and the Telangana, then you will face another problem, another sort of problem, and the problem of Naxalism is there. And do we want to say that the problems or the demand of the Naxals, of course, illegitimate, I am not endorsing at all. Do we want to say that the kind of grievances and the complaints what the Naxals have, the similar sort of complaints the farmer of Punjab and Haryana have? Do we want to say the strategy to solve this problem, if we are making, so should be the same for the Punjab, Haryana and the Naxal hit area? I hope now you might be agreeing that no, sir, it is not possible. And there is absolutely a foolish act if you are acting that way. So how come we can conclude and write this kind of thing in the UPSC mains examination in option subject, that the farmer's problem is this and the solution is this and this? And this approach comes from where? It is always better to make the use of a thinker. Be it the physical geography, human geography, economic geography, after all, the perspectives in human geography, why this particular topic has been added to syllabus. Only reason is there that you need to understand that what is the relevancy of a thinker in a particular area. It is something like that whenever we are caught in a dilemma, we are fixed in a dilemma that how to move, what to do, then we always take that inspiration from where? From the Constitution of India. What the Baba Sahab has said, even the Constitution of India, what they have written literally, that is not important. And if that is important, even if that is important, then we want to know that what the idea, what the vision the Constitution makers had, Baba Sahab had. And this is the reason why so many amendments we have made in the Constitution. And this is the reason why the Constitution issues are raised and resolved in the Constitution by the Supreme Court, Article 32. So here also, if we have to talk that what sort of solution should be there of this problem, then of course the answer should be sought and answer should be viewed through the prism of the perspective, the thinkers, the scholars of geography. So here I just gave you one example that the agrarian unrest, if a topic is there, if the problem in the agricultural sector is there, or any sector, like if you can talk about the industry also. So in industrial unrest is there. So in this also areal differentiation, regional approach, the better term is the regional approach, which was later on, before that it was called areal differentiation, multi-level planning, all these comes into the scene. Now, take the other topic. Say for example, if we have to talk about the industries, and industries are mentioned also in the paper 1 and the paper 2. When we have to talk about the industries, it simply says that location. All right, location. Number of things are there, and the syllabus talks about the cotton industry, cottage industries, iron steel industry, aluminum industry, pharmaceutical industry, so many industries, and we think that this is the syllabus. No, it is not. It is not. Have you ever thought that India is such a vast country, and why in a certain part of India people prefer dosa idli more than the aloo ka paratha, and vice versa? Why the larger part of the countrymen are fond of rice and many of them are of chapatis? Why in Rajasthan it is a dal bati churma and in Bihar khaza? Why this kind of difference is there? But we make the respect. We show the respect to this kind of diversity, and we say that Indian culture is the mosaic of number of cultures, number of diversity, diverse things. So here also, but in totality, we all are Indians. So here also, number of industries are there, but in totality, everything is actually resting upon only one axis, and the axis is there. Profitability. Profitability. And to some extent, you can say responsibility, and especially in terms of the industries which have been developed by the governments. Now you see, if the profitability has to come, so it can come through least cost approach. We can take the inspiration from Beverian model. It can come through high cost approach. The best example is gems and jewelries. Profitability. Least cost approach says that whatever the investment is there, that has to be lesser. So lesser the investment, more the margin, more the margin, more the profit. So many industries, you will see that they are following this pattern. And this was exactly said by the Weber. Sorry. W-E-B-E-R. Weber. All right. So Weber, it was said by the Weber, and that's why it was taken that way. And the other aspect is there, because now the time is changing and the many industries are there. They believe in the more investment and more profit. More investment and more profit. Say for example, Kalyan Jewelers. Say for example, Tanisk. Say for example, Visakhapatnam iron steel industry. All right. So many changes are there. Social responsibility, mainly it is done by the government. But the government role in the industrial location should not remain confined to social responsibility. It comes in a favorable laws as well. And the best example we can cite from the Bangalore, that has become the software hub in the country. Why? Because the M. Krishna Sahab, he had taken the initiative, and he was supported by the P.V. Narasimha Rao Sahab. At that time, he was the Prime Minister of India. So the government also takes the initiative and makes a thing favorable to attract the investors, to attract the entrepreneurs. So this is what the approach. Now you see, just you follow these three things, and you can make the answer of each and every question asked in the mains examination if it is coming from the industry part. How come? If you have to reduce the costing of the particular product, what you will do? Raw material should be cheap and easily available. All right. There should be minimum transportation cost. transportation cost, and there should be agglomeration effect. All right, three things mainly, and you just apply this on. Iron and steel industry of India. Tata Jamshedpur, Bokaro, Raurkela, Bhilai, Durgapur, take it. And you will see that it was based on this kind of approach. But at the same time, when we talk about the Tata Jamshedpur, Bhilai, Durgapur, Raurkela, the very obvious question is that why Tata became so successful and the others were not so high, not so successful. And many a times these are struggling to make the very high amount of profit. Government's social responsibility. Because the idea of the Prime Minister of India had that by having this kind of disseminating effect, the idea of the dissemination means the more the industries and the pockets are there, more the development there will be. And to many extent, it was successful on certain parameters, it couldn't be. And this idea was derived, this idea was taken from where? The idea of growth pole and growth centers given by Bowd-Billy and Perox. Paper 1 model. Once again, application. If you are writing your answer, as I said, that always try to base your answer or at least to show the sort of inspiration you are taking from the thinkers, from the scholars, the people who had given this. All right, and this way you will be able to answer all those. I gave you iron steel, but not only iron steel. You can talk about the cotton industry. You can talk about the paper industry and many in syllabus you will see. All right, based on the profitability, petrochemicals, and this way you will see the entire syllabus is done. Finally, you have to answer that what are the problems with the Indian industry? Lack of every industry, you can say every industry, iron industry, cotton industry, petrochemical industry, aluminium industry, pharmaceutical industry, just take it. There are the certain things, certain limitations, like every industry will be facing the problem of quality raw material. Every industry will be facing the problem of the workers, laborers unrest. Every industry will face the problem of transportation. Every industry will face the problem of market. All right, certain things, 1, 2, 3 points are there, which are industry specific. You can learn and you can add. Topic is done. Topic is done so easily. And how are we doing this? We are doing this, that whatever a topic has been given, how we are looking at it and how we should look at that has already been given by the perspective. So if you have the very good grasp, on the perspectives and the thinkers of the geography, every time your score will be hitting more than 350. Every time your score will be hitting more than 350. Why? Because rest of the competitors are preparing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Topic number 1, topic number 2, topic number 3. They are missing that approach. And this is what here at the Rouse IAS Research will be doing. Niraj Bharadvaj will be doing for you. All right. Now, the last one that also I want to give you in a short span of time. That how do we prepare the other topics, say for example the physical geography. The physical geography is actually a very interesting topic. Very interesting, it attracts the attention of everybody. And there is a misconception also that geography is about the physical geography. There is a misconception that geography is about the physical geography. And then you will see that the physical geography had the weightage of 2 to 3 questions. And the rest of the area falls into the economic geography, human geography, perspectives and all. But the people think that geography is the study of the mountains and the valleys and the plateaus, and that is what we have been doing since class 6, at least. But the physical geography is something that gives you the dimension of understanding the nature of the universe, nature of the earth, how the entire system is working. It will help you in making that, it will help you in understanding that why the human behavior is also different at the many places. Human behavior, their nature, because it is the nature that controls most of the things. Of course, the upbringing, the social status, the kind of education a person gets, that matters. But beyond that, it is the nature that also helps in the evolution of our personality. For example, why the Indians are like Indians? Why the Chinese are like Chinese? We have been privileged, we have been powerful in the history, but you cannot give me a single case or the incidents where the Indians attacked the other countries. But the India always hosted the number of invaders. Why? Why? The answer comes from the nature. Answer comes from the nature. And when the nature gives you the answer, it says that the conditions which are prevailing in India, that have made the Indians kind. So we are unique in the world. How and why, we will understand through the physical geography, climatology, geomorphology, oceanography and all. And it is easy to understand. For example, I am just giving you to complete this thing. I want to give you the one example that how we do here. Say, for example, if we take the one simple topic, and that is the contributive theory. I'm taking this because most of you have studied it here or there. It will be helping you to understand. Contributive theory is there. Just try to look it through the PPTs, not in detail, just in brief. This contributive theory is there. In brief, for the beginners, it talks about that the universe, the Earth continents, which we see are spread all across the region. There is North America, South America, they are far away from the Atlantic. Africa, Europe is there, India is here, Australia is there. It seems to be that all these things are fixed at their location, but it says that no. It has been continuously drifting. In the past, means around 200 million years ago, the situation was different. Today, the situation is different. And it also gives us the perspective that yes, in the future, it will be changing. And the change is the only constant. See, how come? The way they say that "मैं ठहरा रहा, ज़मीन चलने लगी." This is what, in brief, we can say that this is the idea. A number of questions are there, number of issues are there. You see that the contributive theory, why we should be talking about it? So obviously it raises the question. First of all, it creates a kind of a sort of a curiosity in your mind that oceans and the continents are two important parts of the earth. 70.8% earth consists of the ocean and 29.2% continents lithosphere. Why? Why this kind of difference in the distribution is there? Just try to recall what we have studied earlier in class 6, 7, 9 or 10, that the earth was formed this way, from the gases to the liquid to the solid. Then of course, if the hydrosphere and the continent had to be there, it had to be divided equally or more or less close to each other. Why this kind of difference is there, 70 to 30%? The question is, I'm not answering right now, I'm simply raising the question. Number 2 is there. In other hemisphere is called terrestrial hemisphere, but the southern hemisphere is called hydrospheric. चलो ये भी मान लिया कि 70 or 30. It happened by the way. Fine. It happened by the way. Then why the northern hemisphere is the hemisphere of continents? Why most of the continents are located in the northern hemisphere? Why? And the southern hemisphere is mainly divided of continents. Only half of the Africa, only half of South America and Australia. The entire Europe, entire Asia, North America, part of South America, Central America, Asia, all are located in the north. तो भैया north से इतनी मोहब्बत क्यों है? There must be certain reason. Why every continent is more or less triangular? Why every continent? Take it like suppose if these are the continents, North America if you take triangle, South America if you see triangle, all right, Europe and Asia also you will see triangular, Africa you see triangular. Why most of these continents are triangular? And one more interesting thing is there, that every continent has the base in the north and apex in the south. Why? Do you want to say that everything is actually just a sort of a chance, a matter of chance, or there is a specific reason for it? मेरे सवालों का जवाब दो, answer to these questions. Now it says that how come major coal mines, the question doesn't stop there, it continues. How come major coal mines are found in US, Europe, though these are located in the high latitude? But the idea is that for the coal formation you need to have a vast forest, because the forest will be subsided under the surface, and there the fossilification will take place, and this fossilification will be making the coal mines. But for the forest to happen, forest to develop, you need to have the sunlight, and the sunlight, amount of sunlight falling in a particular area depends upon the axial tilt of the earth. And the axial tilt of the earth at present suggests that the North America, Russia, and all these countries are located in the higher latitude. If these are located in the higher latitude, if the sun rays are not direct over there, how come the temperature was so high to support the forest cover, and the forest cover has made the coal mines? All right. Question doesn't stop here. It says that South India, Australia have the evidences of the glaciation. Glaciation means that it has to be in the higher latitude. And the South Africa and the Australia, you will see through that the Tropic of Capricorn passes. So can we have the glacier in the tropical area? And remember, it is not only here in the South Peninsular India also. Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand have the evidences of glaciation. How come? Western Africa on the Guinea coast has the gold deposits. Similar question. Obviously, तेरे सवालों से परेशान हूं मैं. Continental drift theory comes to answer these, and it says that होठों में ऐसी बात मैं दबा के चली गई. Just for plate tectonics theory, because it will be answering these certain limitations are there. Certain limitations are there in the theory of the contributive theory, which was given by the webinar. So plate tectonics will be making the correction and the upgradation over it. And that's why I said कि रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे करते हैं. Contributive theory. Now the theory comes. Given by number of people, all right, what the Alexander von Humboldt had done, what Antonius Pier had done, later on in 1908, Frank Taylor had done. And then finally in 1912, Alfred Wegener comes, and he gave his theory, the concept of Pangea, the concept of Panthalassa. It was like this. Pangaea. So Pangaea was the part of the Earth's continent. Laurasia and Gondwana. The processes we are talking about. These are the two mega continents. This way it was looking before 200 million years ago. Fine, according to the Wegener, Panthalassa and the Pangaea. Kya se kya ho gaya, dekhte dekhte means what sort of the picture we had around 200 million years ago. This picture got changed into this. Means the story started from here. The story started from here, came to here, then came to here, then from here to here. Now this is the present state. All right. This is the present state. Now the evidences for the quantitative theory. It talks about identical rocks are there, ancient fossils are there. This way the fossils could be shown, fossils of the Glaciopteris and all. All right. So this is actually a number of other slides are there, but this is actually the thing that we need to understand. We need to understand that the story of the physical geography is very fascinating and very easy to grasp, to understand. And it is very logical. If one thing is happening, the other thing means the law of causation. Law of causation works over here. Works over here. If one thing is coming, the other one will definitely be coming. So if we are able to understand that causal link, it is always easy to memorize and it is easy to present in the paper. That's the key. That's the key. And this is, since all these things are presented in such a way that it must have a very high level of accuracy, and the accuracy way of presentation and the concept is the key to success, because these are the things which attract the attention of the examiner, and this is what we are supposed to do. So in this small video, I have given this much insight, and in upcoming videos, you will find the better some examples from the lectures also. This was for the day. Thank you very much.